Hello guys, in this tutorial I will teach you the quick and of course the easiest way how to use the Postman. This is the Postman. The purpose of the Postman is to, well, of course, request data from the server, fetching the data from the server or to the browser, and then distribute it or populate the data so that it can be read by the end users. So Postman is like an application program interface. You can develop your own API for testing and for automating different types of works as far as automation is concerned. So here I have also the request in. This is your request and response website. So we have here the examples of the following uh, request we can use to get. This is to fetch the list of the users. We can also store our information temporarily so that we can um, populate it in the different clients. Of course, no, we have also the following the delete and the path. So these are the four common examples. Okay, so we have here the following request. Now this is the request. We have the state of the request that is to 100. We need to say this is accessible, except only if the result is 404, that is not good, or 403, that is forbidden. So these are examples of that data. As you can see, if you are using the get and the post, of course, you are there to look for the keys and the values. For example, this is the key, the email, and we have here the value for that, the email also. Email is the key, the field name, and of course, this is the value. Okay, so this is an example. So I will show you how to fetch this information and send the request immediately. Okay, there are lots of students asking me how to use the Postman. So this is it. So all you have to do is to open your postmanpoint.com. Okay, you open that. All you have to is type STS and then postman.com. Okay, now you can also download this postman.com in your desktop. And Postman is an application program interface. This is a development tool which helps to build, test, and modify application program interface. And it has the ability to make various types of HTTP requests. We have the get, post, put, and patch. Of course, no, in our next tutorial, we can convert this API codes to various languages like JavaScript and Python. Okay. Now I will start to use the Postman. How to use the Postman is very simple. The first task here is to create your account. Number two, well, of course, you need to create your collections or your folder. And number three, to send a request. Okay, to any cloud service or any web browser. Okay, for example, I will use my my email address. Okay, and of course, oops, sign in. I'm sorry, I need to sign in. Sorry. So email address, Kidron box. Okay, I have already signed up. So for you, if you want to create your account, just like you're creating your account to your social media, it's very easy. Okay, and of course, I will enter my password. Okay. So it's better that you keep you need to check this box so that you will be uh, logged in, and at the same time you will not what you call this log out after 30 minutes. So that's the purpose of that. Okay, so let us log in. Keep me sign in password. I'm sorry, so I don't have a password. All right, I will check again my password. Oh, this is so long. Please wait. Okay, I will put my password right here and let us log in. So our target is very simple. This is just to create a request, and for the same time, well, we can use different URLs or web services to fetch the data or what to request for the information. It's about get. So our target is to use the get. So the purpose of the post is to store the information. Okay. In our next tutorial, well, we can discuss how to convert the APIs into a programming project. Okay, so here we have here the dashboard. Okay, so I am now in my home dashboard. Okay, I just want to use this as for my examples. So we can use now this Postman to create our project. So start with something new. or you can use an existing file, or maybe you can use to explore or to collect and the different spaces published by the Postman community. Okay, so I will use this create new. So it's very simple. Now, we have the building blocks right now. We have the WebSocket request. Now, if you can still recall what is a WebSocket, I have my this tutorial in my Python. So you can check my Python tutorial. You can check the links below, or maybe you can check my channel for the WebSocket for Python tutorial. So we have the collections, the environment, the workspace. Collections is like you're creating your own folder. So workspace, of course, no, creating your own environment to share the informations. And of course, we have the API documentation, max server monitoring, and API. So let us start with this request. So we have here the dashboard for the request. As you can see, you have here the untitled request. You can even create the title if you want for the request. Okay. So I will click this. So the purpose of this is to create a single pane. Okay, toggle for single pane, and of course that's it. So I'll be using this to create a request at the same time to display the response. So this is where you go the response. So key is just like your field name, and value is the data inside the key, just like your database. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to request something, it's very easy. So let us always anchor our lesson to use the get command. Of course, get is very common when you are using your PHP. Of course, that is where you request for information. And of course, you have also the post. The post is to store the information. We have the put, the patch, the delete, the copy, and of course, these are bit advanced. Okay, so for example, I want to request something from the web. Okay, I will put here the URL. Oh, I will put the URL right here. So this is the URL. And of course, let's say I will request something in your Google or yahoo.com. So let us check what will happen. So this is your just like your automated program. Okay. So we have here the parameter, the application, the headers, the body, and at the same time, when we click this, automatically we can see that there is a request. So we have here the request for that. This is the request now at the bottom. Now let us check. Of course, it's too big. So this is now the request. Let us check the pane. This is how we request everything. This is part of your request in Yahoo. Okay. If you want to request another thing, first request for, let's say, the google.com. Let us check what will happen. We are sending request to the google.com. So this is how it looks like. This is the google.com data. Okay. All right. Now, maybe we can request the API of the program that will display your current IP address. So how to do that? Well, as you can see, we can use this request calling that API program. How to do that? So we can use the HTTPS api.apify. I'm sure that you are familiar with this. And then we have the org. And then, of course, we can say format equals to JSON. So the data will be converted to JSON with keys and values. So when we get this, when we request this information, okay, look what will happen. So you can see that I have here my current IP address. Okay, you can see the current IP address. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, back here. For example, what's the purpose of request response here? So this is a website wherein you can test your data. Okay, you can test your data for your responses 24/7 access in your development phases. At the same time, you can use these four responses codes: get, post, put, and delete. These are supported by the get, post, put, and delete. So in this case, now we can use this request using this address. Of course, these are the example of your get request um, what you call this method. All right. Like for example, I want to check the single user. So this is now the address. I will copy this address. Okay. This is very simple. I will copy this address. Okay. Let me copy this first. Okay. Oops, I will copy this address first. Okay, so this is now the example of that. No? When you click this automatically, okay, you can see that it will be displayed in a JSON format. So JSON format stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So later on, you can populate this using by fields, using the keys in the fields and the values. So we'll get this address, okay, and of course I will request this using the Postman. It's very simple. Now we are now in the main core of the topic. Like for example, if you want to request the database in a particular server, knowing that URL, and now you can use this Postman to get that request. Okay, so this is it. So we have here HTTPS request and response, and we have here the subfolder of users, and of course the address is in page 2. If I click this one automatically, so you can see that of course you have here the following. Okay, so these are the following address, these are the following database. So we have the following keys: ID, email, first name, last name, and avatar. So we have how many field names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, remember we don't any what you call this? We don't use any single sense of codes right here. We're calling those common URL to display the data. And one of that is your what? Is your request response, and we have these what services. Okay, so combining the request response using the Postman. Okay, cool, right? For example, if I want only to fetch the information the uh, for this image. So the Postman can also display this. For example, we have here, okay, and of course, if we send that requesting for the image, you can see that, of course, the image will be displayed. All right. So that's how you do it. So I hope that you have the little understanding how to use this Postman, and in your future project, you can use this maybe in your Internet of IoT, Internet of Things, fetching the data and of course forwarding the data to another server for automation. So please don't forget to share and subscribe this channel, and thank you so much for watching.